We are at the point in the season where we are getting so many cherry tomatoes. So many. Every couple days we're picking a huge bowl like this, and they need preserving. And one of my favorite ways to preserve cherry tomatoes is to dehydrate them and turn them into tomato powder, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So the first matter of business is that we're going to have to cut all of these tomatoes in half. It's not a hard job, but it can be a little bit tedious, so put on some tunes and settle in. The goal is going to be to expose as much seeds and gel as possible. So on these elongated types, I like to cut those from top to bottom. But on the rounder ones, those are cut through their equator, right through here. I put the tomatoes cut side up on the dehydrator trays. I think that helps them to dry faster. One other thing I like to do is if I'm working with a bunch of different varieties, which you can see here, I have a lot of different varieties. I like to keep it to one per tray, or if I can't do that, I'll put them in groups. So I'll put one type over here and one type over here, just in case they finish at different times. That way it's easier to pull some out and leave the others in to finish. And as soon as I have a tray of these ready, I pop them in the dehydrator and fire it up. This is an Excalibur. I love it. I've had it going on 10 years. It works great. This dehydrator has different settings, and one of the settings it has is called vegetable, and that will add a little bit of heat. This will dehydrate around 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And that little bit of extra heat will help denature some of the enzymes in the tomatoes, and it will make them last a lot longer in storage once they're dry, as opposed to doing this on something like a raw setting. My tomatoes are dry. They took about a day and a half to finish drying, and I know they're dry because they're not mushy or moist or wet feeling in the center, and when I go to break them, they snap right in half like that. Now when you take these out of the dehydrator and get ready to powder them, there's kind of a sweet spot. When they come out of the dehydrator, they're still a little bit warm, and you don't want to run them through the blender when they're warm. You want them to cool, but only just cool. You don't want to let them just sit out any longer than they have to. And there it is. Isn't that beautiful? It took about 15 seconds in the blender to blend this up, and now what I'm going to do is get a spoon and spoon it into some little jars quickly because I don't want this to pick up any moisture from the air. One other thing you can do to help this out is to put an oxygen absorber in it. If you have one, I tend to save these when I get them in like supplements or different foods. It does help a lot. This will be prone to clumping up over time, and these really do help. One other thing you can do to help prevent clumping is to put this into multiple smaller jars instead of one big jar. And that's it. Now you have tomato powder. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you did find this video helpful, I would love it if you could give it a thumbs up. And please make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you are the first to know whenever a new video is posted.